Okay guys, that's what she looks like after she's all in. And now we're gonna plug these holes. I'm just gonna plug them with some toothpicks and super glue. Isn't that funny how it's off-centered in the holes? And that's not for me, opening the hole up. I kept checking and I was watching those. It was like that when I first took the plate off, just odd. But it is what it is. We're gonna plug them anyway and should be good to go. I do like this setup a lot better. You ain't gonna break that, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna take a toothpick here. I'm gonna just cut one in half. And I'm gonna do the same thing here with this one. All right, make sure they fit. Perfect. Okay, so we'll try Gorilla Glue, super glue today, yes. So anyway, we're going to put a little dollop of Daisy on here. Okay, we'll just get a little bit on that one. And in she goes. Actually, I'm just going to wipe a little bit off it. And push that right in good. And we'll let that dry. Same thing again here. I'm going to put a little more super glue further back on this one too. There we go. Just to make sure, because those go in there quite a ways. Put her in there, give her a little spin. I usually give her a little twist sometimes just to make sure the glue's hitting the sides good and whatnot. Okay. Number 3, here we go. Boom. Yeah, so this works, for me. You guys can do it any way you want. You could even put the screws back in it if you want to do, but I look at it this way. If you're gonna, mod your guitar, then it probably don't matter anyway. But that being said, I have installed one of these on a customer's guitar, and actually, it was like a red, almost like a cherry, almost like an SG, that cherry red of the 335s. It was that color, and it was a custom built guitar, and it had this same setup. It was a steel plate instead of the plastic one, but the owner wanted this, That's what he wanted, and asked me if I could do it, and I told him I could. So when I got done, what I did, after I glued the toothpicks in, I'll cut them off flush, and you can do that with a razor saw or even a razor blade probably. Just take your time, if you're worried about scratches. Just be careful. And what I ended up doing, I found a kind of a red marker, like a dry erase marker, or, a Sharpie or whatever. And I just touched it with a little touch of that red, and it wasn't quite the right match. Then I just touched it with just a little bit of black, and I wiped it off. And it blended pretty good. I mean, you're not going to see this down here anyways when you're playing. Most of the time, you never look at that down there. You just plug your cord in without looking, and there you go. But so, I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. You can plug these and make them look decent. You're probably still going to see it, but there's other little tricks that you can do too, and kind of make it look like a knot too. There's all kinds of little gimmicks, but this works good for me. And I haven't had any issues with it. Like I said, you're modifying the guitar, let's face it. If you're worried about that, then don't do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I've got my razor saw out here. This is an X-Acto. You can get these on eBay, pretty reasonable, $10 or something like that. They're not super expensive. So I want to make sure the glue is dried. I don't want to get that on the saw teeth. Now I'm just going to come in here very lightly and just kind of saw this off flush. like that. Now, I really don't have to do any sanding to speak of. It's pretty good right there. We're going to do the same thing again here. Again, just kind of take your time, and as you can see, okay, you have your blade here, and there's actually a step out that holds the blade. So you can kind of like guide that against the guitar. You could tape this off too. Obviously, I'm not too worried about it with this old relic tele, but you know, it doesn't really scratch it anyway, unless you do what I just did and slip off. But so again, we're going to do the same thing here. Yep, and one more, and that'll be it. Really had to do upside down on camera, but that's what I do for you guys. I take the chances for you, okay? So, there. We got them all plugged. Like I said, I'll probably, I don't know, I might rub some cigarette ashes on it or something, or some other kind of ashes. Or, you know, maybe just take even a little bit of even a touch of super glue on there would probably blend that in decent. Not positive about that. Let's try it. Let me wipe some on a thing. You know, this is what it's about with these cheap guitars. That's what I love about these. I mean, I can do anything that comes to mind. I'm not worried about, you know, wow, did I ruin this guitar? Because I really don't care. This is a kind of a mongrel anyway. Okay, so I did just touch some super glue on there. And do the same thing there. Nah, it's not really blending it in. I'm going to sand these down a little flatter maybe, or take a razor blade and just kind of scrape them maybe a little closer, and then we'll see. I was hoping that the super glue would kind of, you know, give it that finished look, but it's not working there. Sometimes that can, but so anyway, you know, I'm sure you guys are using your imaginations anyway, so you'll come up with an idea and should be good to go. You know, like I said, this thing has been scratched, dropped, you name it, so I'm not even the least bit nervous about this thing. So, you know, if you're doing it on a new guitar, if you're building a guitar, you know, you're not going to probably run into this anyway, but if you do have the 4-hole jack plate, there's a quick fix. You don't even have to fill them in. I'm just doing it because I don't know why, but that's what it is. So I might get creative. I might, you know, make one of them kind of dark black with a Sharpie and maybe brown. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm really not that worried about it with this guitar. So basically all I got to do is put this back together, screw the control plate down, and this thing's ready to go. What I think I will do, though, is probably blow that out. I did get some sawdust in there and whatnot. So, yeah, that's how you do it, folks. Not a big deal. Pretty easy job, really, to do. And now I've got the right deal, you know. Yeah, it even looks the part, which wasn't really why I was doing it. I was just sick of gluing that other cheap one back in there. So I'm happy. Anyway, thanks again for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for all the support. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We'll see you guys real soon. Okay, be good. Okie doke.